Today on Corinne's Pick, we have a very special program. We have Katori Walker and Evan Bishop. Welcome to Corinne's Pick. Today we have a very special show. We have two remarkable artists. We have Katori Walker and Evan Bishop. Welcome to Corinne's Pick.
Thank you.
I am so glad you agreed to be on the program. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what some of your painting, your career, and basically why we brought you to the show?
Sure. So you're gonna make me go first. You go first.
I'm Evan Bishop.
Okay.
I'm a graphic artist, born and raised in the Bronx.
Okay.
I graduated with a degree in art design from North Carolina State University. Taught for 15 years in the city, and then made my transition from professional teacher to professional artist. That happened around 2012, and realized that there was some opportunities in Yonkers. And over time, I met this wonderful lady, and we've realized the power of collaborating our ideas and our talents to empower the communities that we are in. I do mural work, I do illustrations, I do business branding, do teaching, art education, but mostly graphic arts at this time.
Okay, Katori?
Well, he tried to make it sound all smooth that he just came on over to Yonkers. I had to drag him over. He's boogie down Bronx, right?
Right.
But before I met Evan, I was working on my own artwork, which was Katori Kids, which stands for Kids Are Treasures, Our Real Inspiration.
Okay.
And it's all about empowering children and also, as an adult, empowering the child within you.
Okay.
My artwork started from a dark space, and it turned out to be very happy and loving.
Okay.
When I met this wonderful gentleman from the Bronx, or in the
No
Bronx,
doubt. Yes, baby.
he saw something in me that I did not see.
Okay.
He really helped me bring Katori Kids back to life.
Okay.
And we just started to work together in a really way that was magical. And so we're going to talk about that now.
What are some of the things you're doing with Katori's kids? Because I used to work with kids myself. I used to be a second grade teacher.
Oh, really?
For 5 years, yeah. So, working with children is my passion as well.
Oh,
One
really?
of my passions, yeah. So what are some of the things you're doing with children?
Well, right now we do children's workshops
Okay.
in Yonkers, and it's been really thrilling. Evan has been working with children as well.
Like what kind of workshops and what?
Okay, so the workshops that we've done together, we kind of are a team, so we do them
Okay,
together.
okay.
So at the Blue Door Art Center in Yonkers, they have workshops on Saturdays.
Okay.
And so we do workshops that with painting or creating things. For example, we did something that was really cool. We worked and had the kids do rock painting.
Oh,
but not just
wonderful.
rock painting in just a general
wonderful.
way. It was also, we had them do a background with the artwork.
Okay.
And then we also talked about community, sharing with the paints, empowering each other. I did a little meditation as well.
Okay.
So it's something that incorporating the art, incorporating the mind, body, and soul together. And Evan has done work too with the public libraries doing cartooning.
Cartooning,
Oh, wonderful.
characterization, lettering. So just kind of getting a feel for the
wonderful.
kids and what they
Wonderful.
want and how to engage them in, more so than teaching them how to be this artist, is really how to work together, how to bring an idea from thought into manifestation. It doesn't have to be this perfect piece of work, but it's the process that they can explore and learn from.
Okay, and I was looking at some of your Instagram posts and, trying to Googling you too a little bit, and you work with seniors, and I think it's really interesting that you're doing both ends. You're working with young people, but also, enriching the lives of the elderly. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. In 2017, I was given a grant by Arts Westchester, and they wanted us to, the grant was to produce a photo exhibition. And we wanted to introduce ourselves as artists to the Westchester community. So we
Okay.
came up with an idea of, actually, let me go back. Her grandmother,
Okay.
we had dinner, we were sitting down at dinner, and I just asked her a random question. We just became grandparents, so my question to her was, what one word would you share with our children, our grandchildren? And I just thought she was going to say one word and we go about our business, but this elder, who at the time was 96, she used the word focus. And it wasn't just the word focus, but she went on to tell the story of why focus would be important for young children to concentrate on.
She put her fork down.
Yeah.
So she was ready to just go in.
Yeah, so she gave us a great dialogue, and what we realized is that we just experienced oral history. And we wanted to replicate that with many seniors. So what we did is we wrote the grant, and the grant was to go around and ask senior citizens to share one word of wisdom. Once they gave us the word, the next question is what are the 3 favorite colors? And
Okay.
the radical part is where on their body do they want body art?
Okay.
So what we did is we brought these seniors into this space one at a time,
Okay.
and Katori asked the questions and she took the photographs while I did body art. And what we realized is that we were capturing history that can't be Googled, that is not in any books at the time, and we really captured what was passionate about each one. So once they
Personal
gave a
stories.
word, that word couldn't be replicated. So if someone said family, no one else can use family. Fast forward, when it was all said and done, we had 141 seniors in this project. And it was a photo exhibition that really, what we wanted to do is bring the seniors, our elders, back into the center of the dialogue and the community.
And get pampered in a way that they've never been pampered it before, because here it is, they're getting painted. I'm asking them questions like, what is something that you will remember forever? Or these really deep questions that
Right.
they were able to talk about, and just their face lighting up, or some things brought back some sad moments in their life, but they felt good to be able to have that attention, be able to tell the story, even if they told it over and over again to their family or their friends. But that moment, and then looking at the artwork, which they absolutely loved, they didn't even want to take it off, and take the pictures. And when we had the exhibition, so many people came out, and within a week, definitely about 400 people had seen that work. And then we went to colleges. Well, actually, we went to one college, and we talked. No, 2. We did come to Lehman too, and we talked to them about, why it's so
experience.
important to have our seniors back in the forefront.
So as artists, we understand that we can create the bridge, the intergenerational bridges. So whether it's the youth or it's the elders, we realize that art can be that easy medium to go into any spaces with anyone.
It's very timely that you talk about this because, I've started to focus on ageism, and I recently did a PSA on ageism because, I'm 56, openly 56, and, I'm starting to feel like I'm affected by ageism. And I grew up in a society in the West Indies where we really revered our elderly
Absolutely.
people, and I feel like I agree with you. We are losing something when we push the elderly out to the periphery.
We lose our humanity.
Exactly,
Yes, we are.
but we're losing information too.
Absolutely. And what's great about this, we now have 141 stories, personal stories that somehow we wanted to do a book or we want to do a documentary, because on that day when the seniors that could make it came, we gave them a certificate, we gave them a candle, they celebrated, they felt so good. Some
Right.
people said this was the best day of their lives.
Do you think that you might have even sparked some of them to become, continue with art?
It's interesting. I would say that the experience, what it did is it gave them permission to be who they are. Because when they came into our space, we didn't want them to fake it. Who are you? What wisdom do you have in your experiences? So I definitely think that it's something that can be a benefit.
I mean, some of them were already artists as well. And when you say come into a space, we actually went to their space. We went to their homes, or we went to the nursing homes. So we traveled a lot. I mean, it was crazy, but
And
it
we are
was fun.
proud to say that one of the singers who really got things to the next level was we had Majority Leader Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins, and
Okay.
she was part of the project. So she was allowing us to paint. The oldest person we had was 102.
Okay.
And one of the
Ida
questions,
Keeling.
one of the questions that Katori asked was, "Have you ever been body painted?" And for me, as an artist, to be painting it on the skin is such a sacred space. And for this elder who's over a century years old, never to have body paint is was an honor.
It's something that we associate with body painting with the young kids too. So it's kind of the beautiful thing to see an elderly person with, a butterfly or something on their forehead or their body.
And what we did is real quick is the importance of it is that we wanted to make sure that the body art it had to be authentic. So each style of each body painting was original, and it's kind of my background in graffiti art. That was the emphasis, was to make sure each one, I didn't want everyone's picture to look the same, so the colors, the style, the background, the details was all different, reminiscent of graffiti art.
Okay, so I actually, I'm hoping that we're going to go to PSA in 3 minutes.
Sure.
But I do want to at least show one image because we're talking about your art. I want to give the audience an opportunity to at least see one image of your body painting.
Sure.
So maybe can we get to the first slide? Maybe you can describe a little bit about it.
Ooh, yes.
Sexy Lady. Oh, you want me to talk about it? We entitled that Sexy Lady. That is Katori's back. That took about 7 hours to create. We realized as body artists that we had a forum, we had a platform that people were looking at. And we didn't want to get pigeonholed into face painter, only for children. So we wanted to do things that would attract an older or more mature crowd. Okay. And the saxophone, we kind of went back and forth to decide which instrument was best.
I love the saxophone.
Yeah.
Okay, do you play?
So, no, but I love it. I love it.
So that's Sexy Lady, and that took about 7 hours, and we that's.
And it's not photoshopped.
Yeah, nothing's photoshopped.
Well,
everything is right there.
The audience is going to be treated to you body painting on Katori today.
Absolutely.
After the break.
Yes.
So I think we have 2 minutes left. So let's look at another image and then let's go to break.
Sounds good. Five Dog. Okay, so that piece was done in the studio. That was probably a week after Fife Dog had transitioned. I am immersed and a product of the hip hop culture, so I thought it was only right. It was a tribute. I wanted to, capture the Tribe Called Quest design in the lettering, but once again, the graffiti art. I love the portraitures. So that was a celebration of Fife Dog. Rest in peace.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. We'll continue talking, and I guess we'll start some art on your back.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll be back right after a break. Thank you.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
we have Katori Walker and we have Evan Bishop. We've been talking about their art and body painting, and now we're going to be treated to actually a live painting, and Katori's back. Um, so we were talking about the role of the elderly um, in our society, in our culture, and the fact that you work with a lot of the elderly at Yonkers and basically got them into body painting and discovering their creativity. Can you tell us a little bit about what other projects you're working on right now?
Currently, at this very time, we got another grant from Arts Westchester to produce a project. We wanted to create a project that was more all-inclusive, not just seniors, not just a certain age group. So we came up with a concept called the Yes Yonkers Community Quilt. And what the Yes Yonkers Community Quilt is it's our way of unifying Yonkers. We've started off with the principles, the basic fundamental principles of the hip hop culture, which is peace, love, unity, and having fun. And we wanted to create a project that encouraged peace, unity, and having fun. So what we did is each person who participates, they were given a canvas swatch.
10 by 10.
10 inches by 10 inches, and it's just a canvas piece of material. And they were encouraged to create something that celebrated life, that celebrated Yonkers, family, positivity, something that would be used to uplift Yonkers.
And you didn't have to be from Yonkers.
Right.
A lot of participants either, but you had to at least visit Yonkers, live in Yonkers, or work in Yonkers, but have been to Yonkers at some point.
Right. And so the original grant was to do 100 of these.
And Evan got crazy.
At this current time, this morning, I counted we have 1,034 of these canvas swatches. And the goal is not just to do an art project and put it in a cellar, but we're gonna take these swatches and pieces of art and we're gonna share them all throughout Yonkers.
I love it.
We're gonna have any business, any organization, any company that is willing to house a certain amount of these swatches, they're welcome to have it. We want to give it and share it with Yonkers. And what that does is it's encouraging tourism. It's helping people to move around in the city of Yonkers where they normally may not go to for whatever reason. And it's about bringing everyone together in a way that is, once again, our strength is art. So if we're trying to create solutions for the community, if we stay in our zone or our lane of art, we're doing some good stuff for ourselves.
And one of the great things about it is we're creating our goal is to create the largest community quilt, non-traditional community quilt in the history of Yonkers.
Right.
And so we're putting it all together. It will be at the Riverfront Yonkers Riverfront Library, May 18th and 19th. And we're going to have a quilt reveal and fashion show with the art.
Wow,
Right.
wow. I
So-
hope you can get some little clips of that on video. That
We
would
will,
be
and
to
when
see.
we come back, we'll give you the what happened and all the other details of the event.
And what's
Okay.
great about this too, like I said, it's not just people in Yonkers. So we have people from all over the 5 boroughs and different places that participated in this. Imagine 1,000 people, being a part of what we call the community, because we would have pop-up creation stations. And we would bring the canvases and the paint markers, and people were sitting next to each other. People made friends with each other. People reunited with each other, finding out, oh, I know so-and-so, you know so-and-so. So it became a real community project.
I hope that you'll extend that, nationwide, because what we really need now is actually more offline community building. They're doing social networking and social community things with Facebook and LinkedIn, but we have to learn how to do it in person again.
Human, yeah,
Exactly.
human
People
quality.
had to learn sitting down. People were, and kids and adults were sharing. People from different cultures and backgrounds had a time in their life. Some spent 5 minutes doing it. Some people sat for the whole pop-up shop 3 hours working on something. Some people took them home and did something. But the whole point of it was that it was about sharing. Almost like when you
Absolutely.
sit down and you share food, you're sharing art.
Exactly. I know that you spent some time in the Virgin Islands, and I am a native Virgin Islander. I know from my father's stories that there was a time when entertainment was people. He said that as a little boy in St. Croix, there was no TV or radio. People would gather in the yard, in the front yard, and with a fire going, they would tell stories and they would entertain each other with songs, stories. And so we were the entertainment.
Absolutely.
We were the cable TV. So I think,
Yes.
we have to get back, back to that, I think.
I absolutely agree with you, because one of the things I used to have as a young child as an issue was that when I was on the islands, it was all about the same person that you went to church with was the same person that you went to the movies with, was the same
Exactly.
person that you did everything kind of with the
Exactly.
same group of people. But then when I
Exactly.
came back here, it was like, okay, you have a set of friends to do this with,
Exactly.
another set of friends to do this with, and
Exactly.
another, and it really was different.
Exactly. I went from a small school in the Virgin Islands to John F. Kennedy High School in the
Thousands,
Bronx.
yeah.
And it was very overwhelming. I think they even gave me a number. I had a number. I was reduced to a number. So, that sense of, small town living and community, there's a little bit of value in that. People
Absolutely.
are our wealth in this country,
That's right.
not necessarily technology. I think it's each other.
Absolutely. And with our project, 100 Words of Wisdom, that was so key that all of the people that we dealt with and we worked with, they all had their story that we can all learn from. So when we had the exhibit, underneath it had the word, right? And then it also had a quote. We took a quote from each one of them. And then when we had the colleges or the kids come in and look at that, people were looking at that. They said, wow, okay, we see the image of celebrating someone that's older, whether they had any kinds of aging. Okay, that's in your face now. That's not going to be hidden. Then you have the words and the wisdom, and it was layered, and they really got something from it. Some people said they are now looking at the people in their community and offering help. They're talking to a family member that they stopped talking to.
Okay.
Imagine that power.
Okay, so I know that we have 5 minutes left, and I do want to get through a little bit more from your art.
Yes.
So I'm going to show some more images on screen, and maybe Evan, you
Sure.
can every now and then take a glance and
Talk
then
about
just
320
talk while you
body
paint.
art and what we
So
do.
the next image, please.
Hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so what makes us unique as a body art team, I have to say it, there are a lot of great body art teams or body artists out there in the world. What makes 320 body art unique is that 320 body art, what makes us stand out from our peers is that it's not just body art, but there's also a spa element to it. So what Katori does is she provides aromatherapy, guided meditation, and Reiki. She's a Reiki practitioner. So when someone sits in our chair, while I'm painting, she's providing these services to them, which is a unique experience in and of itself. And what we want to do is we want to make sure our mission as 320 Body Art is to paint, to use body art to heal and encourage people on many levels. So it's not just the body art, but it's the conversation, it's the healing in that way.
So when they close their eyes and go through guided meditation and Evan is painting, there's this synergy that's happening. They feel the paintbrush, they hear my voice, they start to meditate. And when they open their eyes, they see the artwork and they feel so relaxed and they feel really like they had a special treatment.
Okay, so let's see the next image, please.
Oh, shout out to Prince. There's a wonderful spot, Lower Manhattan, called the Delancey, and they have live art parties, and it's a great thing for us to participate in. So once again, this is when Prince passed, and they had a party to really to honor him. And what other best way? I didn't want to paint Prince or just his symbol. His guitar is so unique, so we wanted to make sure we showcase that as well. So that's our tribute to Prince.
Okay, the next image.
Once again, Lauryn Hill. So that was painted live, and the one for Prince as well as this one right here, celebrating Lauryn Hill's album, we did live in less than 3 hours. So these were painted live at parties where people are painting
Lots of
canvases.
loud music.
She's my canvas. So we wanted to make sure that we celebrated Lauryn Hill during that tribute party.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about. We have like 2 minutes left. I want to leave basically with you getting the last word. I want to talk a little bit about what you're painting on her back.
For sure.
But also maybe you can just answer the question quickly. What do you think the role of art is in activism, social activism?
Wow. That's a great question. What is the role of the artist? So right now I'm painting. To answer that question, I'm just kind of putting your logo or your name, the name of your show, on her back. The piece we talked about, all that was going on in the country with violence. So you suggested, as an body artist, I want to make sure I give you what you want. You said a dove. This is a dove. I wanted to put your name on that. The role of an artist in social, what was it? I'm sorry, I lost my
It's
train.
social activism.
Oh,
Today I woke up with the story of another shooting at a synagogue.
Right.
So it's waiting a little bit on me. So that's why I said the dove.
Without question, I think artists are the voice of the people. There's a visual voice that we can provide to the commentary of the days. And as an artist, it's our responsibility to use our gifts to uplift and to heal and to empower and to sometimes you got to wake people up. So not all the time are we going to paint roses and sunshine. Sometimes you got to show things that may be uncomfortable, but sends a message to create conversations.
So we're just about out of time, and we do intend to. There's so much to talk about to continue talking. So we definitely have to do a part 2.
Yes.
But thank you so much for being on this episode today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having
us. This is wonderful.
Okay,
Thank you.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'ma show you how to party.